And it looks like they're pushing them back a little bit here. So might have been an infraction on the return. So Garden City on their own 45.
First drive on their own 45-yard line, first down and 10.
There you see that replay as well. Durkash. Couldn't see if there was a block in the back, but in any case, Trojans start off on their own 45-yard line. Luke Schmidt, the quarterback, in shotgun. Schmidt hands off. Ball gets past the
quarterback number 14, Luke Schmidt, on the
50-yard line. It was actually Schmidt on the carry. We'll take a look at the starters on offense.
He gets out over the 50-yard
for Garden City. We mentioned Luke Schmidt, technically his second year as a starting quarterback. Cascadin, the running back. The receivers, Downey, Westfield, DeLuca, and Archer. Up front, Staub, Walsh, Haas, McDonough, and Olson. So gain of 7 on that first down. 2nd and 3 now for the Trojans. Schmidt calls his own number, gets past the first down marker. So he'll move the chains. You see it again here, or low look. Valerio credited with the tackle, but you see Schmidt, nice cut inside, gets the first down run out to the 48-yard line, and that's something you don't want to see, certainly if you are Sewanhaka. We mentioned him at the start, Franz Compere, their leading player on both sides. We saw him hobble off. We hope he is all right. Schmidt now back to pass. A short one to Downey, and he stretches out across past the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at those Sewanhaka starters on defense. We mentioned, of course, Compere on the end with Hall, Gabaton, and Gadsden, the backers. Just 2 of them, Valerio and Garcia. Melford, Krishan, Singh, Cuff, and Belnavis in your secondary. 4-yard gain for Downey, which brings up a 2nd and 6 from the Sewanhaka 38. Fake handoff. There goes Schmidt calling his own number. Runs left, cuts inside. Still on his feet as he crosses, or he gets close to that 30-yard line.
Carry by quarterback number 14, Luke Schmidt.
See the fake handoff there to Pierce Archer. And Schmidt calls his own number. He's had a great start of this season. Coming into this game, 12 of 14 for 87 yards and 3 touchdowns, 19 carries for 129 yards and 3 more touchdowns. So 1st and 10 from the Sewanhaka 30. See twin receivers. Man in motion. And he's the receiver. Krishan with the tackle. Jack Archer
by number 12, Raul Krishan,
with the reception.
A gain of 4 yards on the play.
You see Krishan just shedding his block. Good job by Krishan. And 2nd and 6 now from the Sewanhaka 26-yard line. Schmidt again fakes the handoff. This time it's read well, though. Jaheim Hall coming up with the big tackle. Watch big 78 here on the end. The 6'1", 260-pound senior reads it all the way. Look at that great cutback by Hall. Came into this game with 17 tackles, 5 of them for losses, a pair of sacks, and a fumble recovery as well. Described by Casamatas as just a force. 3rd and 9 now for the Trojans. Schmidt finds a receiver. That's a first down pass and a little more for the Trojans.
Number 81, Jackson Pereza on the catch, and the
there you see
first down
Schmidt with
for
the
Garden
pass.
City. Ball spotted just inside the 20-yard line on
Finds
the 19.
Jackson Pereza, the
First down and 10.
6'2" junior, as they move the chains inside the 20, 1st and 10 for Garden City from the 19-yard line. Now Schmidt under center, some movement on the line. Look at a powerful run by Cascadin up the middle.
Number 21, Jack Cascadin on the carry.
Cascadin, 6'3", 210, 11 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. And like most of these guys on the Garden City offense, that dual threat, 5 receptions for 21 yards and 2 touchdowns as well for the Cornell Lax commit. He brings up a 2nd and 1, so 9 on that as we're under now. 5 minutes left in this fast-moving first quarter. Schmidt back to pass, goes over the middle, and that's incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete.
There's not been
by the Indians, number
many
8, Harmon Singh.
incompletions for Schmidt. Again, we
3rd
mentioned
down and
12
1.
of 14, but he was about like 10 of his first 10. He was perfect in that carry win. And there you see a good job by Singh and Valario breaking that one up. So it's a 3rd and 1. For Garden City. Schmidt flips his handoff. They get the 1 yard and a little bit more. Touchdown,
Number
Garden City.
27, Stephen Fennell Jr. on the carry.
Steve Fennell Jr.
1 yard line.
Oh, excuse me. He gets down to the 1.
1st and goal.
Here's another look. Fennell Jr. He's in on these twin tight end packages, and that's how close he was. What a great look from down low. Fennell Jr. taken down just outside the goal line. So it'll be a 1st and goal for the Trojans. Schmidt under center. Hands off. Cascadin runs left. Touchdown, Garden City.
Number 21, Jack Cascadin on the carry and the touchdown for the
Cascadin's 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. A 1 yard touchdown run, and he puts Garden City in front 6-0, point after pending. There you see it again. Cascadin just runs left. No problem there for him. Point after attempt is up, and it is good. So Garden City, they capitalize off of that turnover at midfield, and then Cascadin with a 1 yard touchdown run gives Garden City the early 7-0 lead with 3:35 left in this first quarter. We'll take a quick break and bring it right back. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 Showdown right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is the time to promote your business on our broadcasts.
Now Farmiga will fire and find the back of the net.
Top of the key, 4-3, good.
With viewership in the thousands, your company will get the local attention it needs. Best of all, we offer affordable rates. High school sports online audiences are growing. Take advantage by advertising with Varsity Media.
Hands off, 3-point shot is up and in. You back them back 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Freeport.
Contact us today, 516-403-2050, varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Sewanhaka. There's some of the fans braving the chilly conditions. Opening kickoff. Nice return out toward the 40-yard line. That's Bell Navis with the return. And
He gets out past the 40-yard line.
We'll see it again here.
That is where Sewanhaka will start its second drive.
Bell Navis. Good 25-plus yard return. Good field position for the Indians. Again, they come in 2-0. Tight wins. Needed overtime to beat New Hyde Park, 14-7. And then they defeated Calhoun 7-0. Krishan. See, the man in motion was Melford. Krishan calls his own number, gets the first down, and some more. Krishan inside the 35-yard line.
Number 12, Raul Krishan on the carry. He is finally brought down after a first down by number 45, William Peters.
Here you see Krishan, nothing there, cuts it back outside, back inside, and that's that heady toughness, the competitiveness that Casamatas talks about when referring to the 5'11 senior. So that run brings him down to the Garden City 36-yard line. Krishan now out of shotgun. Another keep goes up the middle.
Once again, quarterback number 12, Raul Krishan on the carry. He's
Not much there.
Several Trojan
We'll see
defenders.
the look again.
A 3-yard gain on the play. Second down and
Krishan
7.
credited with 3. You see a host of Trojans in there. Vortuba, 44 among them. Pierce Archer as well. 2nd and 7 now for Sewanhaka. Krishan was not here a year ago. He was early in his high school career, and then he transferred to St. Mary's. He's a basketball player as well. Came back, always stayed in the district. Krishan hands off, and not much there. Bell Navis wrapped up quick.
Garden City defense for a loss.
See it again. 55 looks like the first one in there. Brendan Staub, the terrific athlete, another Cornell commit, though. He'll play football there, the 6'1", 200-pound junior. So this will back up the Indians a few more yards. 3rd and 11 from the 37-yard line. So Krishan's big run and that return, and Garden City, they seem to find a way to bend but not break. Krishan under pressure rolls out, and he is sacked.
Number 78, Sawyer Olson on
Sawyer Olson credited
the
with the sack, but you could see Krishan was forced out of the pocket by Cascadin, and that's when Olson wrapped him up. So 4 down. Well, you would think maybe potentially 4 down territory here, and Garden City trying to make sure they get the right personnel on the field, and a timeout
was
is called
on the field by the Garden City defense.
By Garden City. We'll keep it here. Garden City, as we mentioned before, week 1, comfortable 34-0 win over Cary. Luke Schmidt was 5 of 5 for 74 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushed for 29 yards and a score in 8 attempts in Garden City's opener. Trojans open up a 21-0 lead in the opening quarter, capped by Schmidt's 14-yard TD run with 3:09 left. And then that tight one that we mentioned in week 3 where they defeated MacArthur 35-29. The Trojans were up by 20 in the 3rd quarter, but then they withstood a furious charge by 2nd-seeded MacArthur to hold on. In that game, Schmidt, 101 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns, 54 yards in the air, and 1 score. And that was the top 2 seeds in Nassau Conference 2. Also a rematch of last year's County Championship. And that play blew up as Nick O'Shea, the punter, was taken down. So the punt was never attempted. And Garden City will look to, again, manage off of that blown up play. So Sewanhaka trying to, or at least the attempt was to pin Garden City back, make them go long field, and instead they'll take over on their own 44-yard line. Again, they scored on their first drive. Jack Cascadden, a 1-yard touchdown run with 3:35 left in this first quarter. So just about 2 minutes of game time ago. You see Schmidt in shotgun. Ball gets handed off far side. A big run and a late flag as well.
Number 11, Kyle Carney on the carry.
That was Kyle Carney, 11, with the end-around run. And let's see if we can see something late. You can see that flag fly in there, and usually when you see a late flag like that, it tends to be of a face mask variety, and we'll see the official. It's a personal foul, and it is a face mask. So a personal foul face mask will add 15 to this one, so it'll bring Garden City all the way down to the 21-yard line. Casamata says when you play Garden City, you've got to almost play a perfect game, and you certainly can't afford those kind of penalties. So Schmidt in shotgun. He's got Cascadden on his left hip. 1st and 10 from the 21. Schmidt pressures on, throws it over the middle, and it is caught. Touchdown, Carney.
Number 11, Kyle Carney on the catch and the touchdown for Garden City.
So here it is again. Watch Schmidt. He's under pressure. He takes the hit. Looks like it was Krishan who came in and hammered him, and wide open. That's a great pass into the back part of the end zone by Carney. A 21-yard touchdown reception. So Garden City doesn't need much on their second drive to find the end zone. PAT is up, and it is good.
Number 37, Gerard O'Connor converts the
O'Connor, another conversion. So with 1:16 left in this first quarter, Garden City already has opened up a 14-0 lead. We mentioned for Sewanhaka missing and really desperately missing here this afternoon is Brian Lowry. And how key is Lowry? Well, he's a two-way starter, a running back and linebacker. Offensively, 23 carries for 183 yards and a touchdown against New Hyde Park. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season, which when you consider there's been 3 on the year for Sewanhaka, that is pretty good stuff. A 3-year starter, all-county caliber, a captain. Casamata says Lowry has a good nose for the ball on defense. He lines guys up, puts them in the right positions. Last year had a few key interceptions as well. Offensively, he's one of those one-cut-and-go shifty running backs. He's a big kid, but he gets down low.
At the very end of the first quarter, the kickoff will start the second quarter.
So actually the clock, they say here at Sewanhaka is unofficial, and good reason why they say that. It said like a minute and change left in the quarter, which is why we were staying here, and instead it was at the end of the quarter, that touchdown. So we head to the second quarter now, in Garden City with that 14-0 lead. There's the kickoff, fielded by Melford, Runs towards the Sewanhaka sideline.
Number 5, Markel
Goes down.
Melford on the return for the Indians. He is forced out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
While we have the opportunity, we want to thank our sponsors here this afternoon. Optimum Pest Control. Protect your home with a company you can trust. 15% off mosquito service until May 1st. Optimum Pest Control. We'd also like to thank Steam Squad Carpet and Upholstery Cleaners. Got dirt, got stains, got stink. Get the Steam Squad. Book now. Get 10% off when you mention this ad. SteamSquad.com. You see the number 516-567-8966. We want to thank our sponsors for today's game. Krishan hands off on this first play from scrimmage of the second quarter.
Number 20, Carter Fredericks-Dort on
And
the
Carter
carry.
Fredericks-Dort,
He
the
gains
carry,
2
the
yards
sophomore.
to the
Today
Garden
generally
City
is the guy who
37-yard
gives
line.
Lowry, we were just mentioning him, a bit of a spell. But today is the day. Earlier in the week, Casamata said there's going to be at some point this year, likely Fredericks-Dort is going to have to step up and he'll get more of those carries. Well, today is that day with Lowry quarantined. So 2-yard gain for the sophomore. A good zone read kid. Another handoff. Up the middle they go. Look like Blair in on the tackle, 77.
Once again, Carter Fredericks-Dort. He's
Fredericks-Dort.
number 10, Pierce Archer.
And Archer right there at the bottom as well. So that
gain on the carry.
Archer Blair
Sewanhaka will be
sandwich, if you will.
facing a 3rd down.
Fredericks-Dort with 1 yard on that. So it's a 3rd and 6 from Sewanhaka's from their own 40-yard line. Krishan gets the call from the Sewanhaka sideline. You can see Belnavis at the top of your screen. And a whistle. You can see the pressure coming from both ends. Penalty flag thrown.
Before the snap, a full start on the
Full
Indian
start
offense. That'll back
on
them up 5
the
yards,
Sewanhaka
and will repeat
offense.
3rd down.
So that 3rd and 6 now becomes a 3rd and 11. And it is even though there are seniors on the line, Gadsden the difference, a sophomore at right tackle. Still a lot of mixing and matching. Usually Compare 70 is a wide receiver. He wears 88. In fact, I believe it's his parents near the top of the bleachers here, or the bottom of the bleachers, I should say, wearing number 88 Compare sweatshirts, but he's had to switch to 70 to fill a void on the offensive line. Man in motion is Singh. Krishan under a ton of pressure, and he is sacked
21,
on
Jack
3rd down.
Cascadden
Cascadden with the sack. Another flag.
Will be declined.
And this one will be against
4th down for the Sewanhaka offense.
Sewanhaka. Of course, it'll be declines. Look at Cascadden. There he goes again. 6'3", 210. Great size, speed as well. So the penalty declines. 4th and 16 now for Sewanhaka. So they certainly have to punt here. They do get one off. O'Shea gets it off, and it's right at the 45 and hammered there. And a penalty was thrown on the hit.
We have a penalty flag on the play.
And that's not a good call. They were saying that Compare 70 came in with a high elbow, and on the replay, we certainly didn't see that. Francesco Ingracia was the one who was hit hard. But that was a great look on our replay. We certainly didn't see any infraction. Here's another look. You could see
the call on the field was an illegal hit by the Sewanhaka
the catch
punt team.
And nothing illegal there from Compare. So
after the penalty, Garden City will have it first down and 10 on the Indian 43-yard line.
Tough call for Sewanhaka. Garden City takes over on the 43-yard line. So short field for the Trojans, who already have a 14-0 lead. Schmidt under center now. Flips it to Archer, runs right. Archer towards the sideline, cuts back inside. Churning those legs, gets inside the 20-yard line. It's one of the reasons why Pierce Archer is our player to watch for Garden City.
Enough for a first down for Garden City.
He's got that experience and just such a hard worker. We could see there, too. Like most of these guys, he can impact the game in multiple ways, and good return or good rush, I should say, by Archer, who's another one of these college-bound lacrosse players. He'll play for Franklin and Marshall. So he was actually pushed out at the 30-yard line, so 1st and 10 from the 30. This time a reverse. Here comes Carney. Carney gets past the first point of contact. Carney still on it, gets inside
Number 11, Kyle Carney,
the 15-yard line. A flag, though, is down. There you see a little bit of trickery, and when we spoke with Bobby Farron back a week ago, he said that's something you got to watch out for, Garden City. They always seem to find something in their bag of tricks, and this one's going to come back.
Garden City offense.
It'll be a hold against Garden City. So bring the ball back to the 34, which when we see it, that's kind of just about where there's Casamatis calling things out. He was so complimentary of Garden City for years. When they weren't in the same conference, he made sure that Sewanhaka would scrimmage GC, and he said some of his assistant coaches were like, what are you, crazy? I mean, this is Garden City. He said, I want our guys to just see what they do, how they line up, how they stretch, really just the signs of what they need to do to become a better team. Schmidt with the pass, it's complete, and those yards now made up after that holding call. See Schmidt in motion, rolls right, flings it, 11, and there's some yak for Carney. Gets himself inside the 10. Sewanhaka calls a timeout, and we will take it with them as well. 8:29 left in the first half. Garden City leads Sewanhaka 14-0. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Media is available to broadcast your team's big event. Rivalry game.
Off the screen.
3 ball is good. Senior night. Whatever the occasion, we enhance the viewing experience with our productions. Don't settle for a boring stream. Call today for more information about our services. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Sewanhaka High School. Dylan Butler here. Garden City leads these host Indians of Sewanhaka 14-0, and they are threatening to extend that lead. Sewanhaka called that timeout defensively. 1st and 10, and the ball is on the 11, so they can still get that first down. This time Schmidt will be under center. He's got Kaskadin as the lone runner, and it is Kaskadin bursting forward. Kaskadin, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
Number 21, Jack Kaskadin on the carry and the touchdown for the Trojans.
So Kaskadin with a 1-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, and this one 11 yards. Little stiff arm to boot, but could have just cruised into the end zone and kind of did as well. Kaskadin's second touchdown of the game, his third rushing score of the season. PAT is up, and it is good. So Garden City extends its lead to 21-0 with 6:45 left in the second quarter. Kaskadin leading the way for the Trojans. He's got 2 of the 3 touchdowns, and Garden City leads at 21-0. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Sewanhaka. Dylan Butler here. Garden City scoring on their first 3 possessions, and they lead this one 21-0. Gerard O'Connor, a perfect 3 of 3 on the point after, and he kicks off as well to Bell Navis. Bell Navis runs towards the right, and not a lot of real estate there, and that's another thing, too, that Casamata says about Garden City, whether it's specials, whether it's on defense. Look at all of the Trojans flying to the football, and it's something that he says he wants his guys to see as well on film.
Garden City kick coverage team on the Sewanhaka 15-yard line. That is,
and oftentimes you'll hear,
down and 10.
As you could hear a little bit of the PA here at Sewanhaka, you'll often hear them say a host of Trojans or several Garden City tacklers, and that's because they all do just fly to the football whenever there's a chance. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Krishan rolls left, looks for options, and to my point, 10 of the 11 Garden City players on the other side of the ball in on that pile.
12, Raul Krishan keeps and gains 5 yards on the play.
So Krishan this time follows Frederick Stort, and you can see the push from the pile. It's a 5-yard gain for Krishan, who was huge against Calhoun. That offense was sputtering a little bit, and he came up late with some big plays. We mentioned before, 11 carries for 80 yards in that Week 3 win. There's Krishan again, this time off the pass. The intended receiver was Melford.
Pass intended for number 5, Markel Melford, falls incomplete.
And it's a 3rd and 5. One thing that Casamata said really kind of hurt his team is, like anyone else, he said it was a rush to the start. He had 11 days to get everything in on the playbook. They beat New Hyde Park, which is an emotional win. It's in the district, and it's a bit of a rivalry, a good respect between the two programs. And then they had to miss their Week 2 game against Cary, also a game they were looking forward to, another one within the district, because a new Hyde Park player had tested positive for COVID, and those are the protocols in place, Casamata said, so they missed week 2, and he said it's really kind of the start-stop has really hurt his team. And Archer, again, coming up huge, tackling Krishan.
Pierce Archer makes the stop on the Sewanhaka quarterback.
Watch 10, Archer, coming into your picture.
A loss of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th
Look at that,
down and
just
6.
They tried to block him, but he shed that block. Hits Krishan for a loss of 1. So it'll bring a 4th and 6, and O'Shea, the Adelphi lacrosse commit, back to punt, and he's back deep. Punt comes towards the Sewanhaka sideline and takes a little bit of a bounce before it is handled there. So Garden City, again, terrific field position to start this next drive with under 5 minutes left.
Will have it on the 41-yard line.
They are on the Sewanhaka 41-yard line, and we mentioned at the start, Garden City 2-0 on the season. That makes them, by the way, 48-2 in their last 50 games. Just insane numbers for the Trojans, but it speaks to the tradition that they have, somewhat unmatched. Not only in Nassau County, but you could argue through the state. Schmidt rolls right, looks for options. Continues his run and scampers out towards the 30.
Quarterback number 14.
Looks like he
on the carry.
Got exactly what he needed to get the first down. Watch this extra little step here by Schmidt. Knows the pressure's coming, takes a step out, back, or in, and then out right at the first down marker. So exactly 4 minutes left now in this second quarter. Garden City moves the chains. They've got the ball at the Sewanhaka 30. Schmidt hands off. Looked like that was Fennell, and look at this push. How about those guys up front, huh? Staub, Walsh, Haas, McDonough, Olson.
Stephen Fennell Jr. on the carry.
That extra little push. Here it is again, Fennell Jr., of course, the son of
first down for Garden City.
The defensive coordinator and, of course, the lacrosse coach, Steve Fennell. And look at all those big dudes up front pushing Fennell a little bit further. A first down run. They move the chains again. 1st and 10 from the Sewanhaka 30. Archer in motion. Takes the pass in the backfield. Cuts inside. Still has it. Archer. Touchdown, Garden City.
Quarterback number 14, Luke Schmidt, completes to number 10, Pierce Archer, for a catch and a first down for Garden City.
Efficiency at its best. You see Schmidt goes to Archer. He was already in motion in the backfield. Archer does the rest. Look at this great cut inside and finds the end zone. A 20-yard catch.
Number 37 on for the extra point.
For Archer and Gerard O'Connor, looking to make it a perfect 4 of 4 on point after attempts, and he does just that. It is all Garden City here at Sewanhaka in this battle of 2 undefeated teams in Nassau Conference 2. Pierce Archer's 20-yard touchdown reception has given Garden City a 28-0 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Island sports fans, now is the time to ensure you don't miss out on your athletes' games. Varsity Media is available to live stream any game, any event, any level, anytime. Reach out to Varsity Media today to learn more about live streaming services. 516-403-2050 or visit us at www.varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Sewanhaka High School in Floral Park. Dylan Butler here. We're so glad you're able to join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. The Trojans have built a 28-0 lead on Sewanhaka here late in the second quarter. Two scores in the first quarter, 2 in the second quarter. And O'Connor kicks off. The ball is fumbled briefly, and a short return for the Indians. So Schmidt has 2 touchdown passes to Carney and Archer.
The Indians will start the drive on
Cascadon
the 16-yard line. First
has
down and 10.
2 touchdown runs for Garden City, and their defense has done a great job of, again, just creating pressure from the edge, getting the push up front, and making things very, very difficult for Raul Krishan, their senior quarterback. So 1st and 10 from the Indians' 16-yard line. Handoff to short gain.
Number 20.
Fredericks Dort.
Carter Fredericks Dort.
With the run. Fredericks Dort also a track guy, but
on the carry, a 1-yard gain.
He is all football, says George Casamatis.
The last stop was made.
A gain of 1 by Fredericks Dort, so 2nd and 9. Under 3 minutes left in this first half. Man in motion. And you could hear the official saying a knee was down. Let's take a look again. Oh, yeah, look at that. Well, they're saying that the knee was down on the fumble recovery as R.J. Vortuba fell on it. It was a botched handoff, it appeared. So everything going Garden City's way here.
Garden City recovers that fumble.
They get that fumble recovery.
They'll have it on the 15-yard line, 1st down and 10.
And talk about short field position. They've got the ball on the Sewanhaka 15-yard line, or make it 17. Here's another look. And it looked like it hit the man in motion, actually. And Vortuba was like, thank you very much. Looked like that was Kamari Denhart, number 7. He was the one in motion, and just a botched snap. So a gift here for Garden City. Let's see if they can capitalize in the final couple minutes here of this first half. 1st and 10 from the Sewanhaka 15-yard line. Schmidt flips to Cascadon, powers his way forward. Still going, and he's downed
Number 21,
at
Jack
about
Cascadon
the
on
3-yard line.
First down for Garden City.
Tackled
They're
by
on the
Bell
2-yard
Navis.
line. It'll be 1st down and goal.
Here's your look from the goal line and coming right into your screen. How about that block up the field? Bell Navis with the tackle. So 1st and goal from the 2. Schmidt under center. Very well could call his own name. Instead flips it out. Cascadon, make it 3. 3 first-half touchdowns by Jack
Garden City,
Cascadden.
number 21, Jack Cascadden on the
This
carry.
one, a 3-yard touchdown run. Here's another look. The flip, Cascadden, the blockers, and virtually runs in untouched for the score. So Garden City wastes no time to capitalize off of that turnover by Sewanhaka. Gerard O'Connor. The point after attempt is up, and it is good. 35-0 is the lead now for Garden City over Sewanhaka. And we were mentioning before Casamatis, when he talks about Garden City, the Sewanhaka head coach calls them one of the best teams in the county, Long Island, New York State. He said Garden City is so disciplined, they're so well coached, their kids are tenacious, and they never give up. Casamatis says every play defensively, they all run to the ball. Special teams, they go all out. You never see a Garden City player walking on the field. It's such a great program. Doesn't matter where you are in this country, if you flip film on Garden City, you could always teach your kids something off of it. He said the attitude that Garden City has, game in, game out, is absolutely incredible. Call the program really top-notch. Those are the words of George Casamatis. You see there his 12th year in charge of the Sewanhaka program, a program that's been working their way up. They were 1-7 2 years ago, and a year ago 5-3. 3 of those 5 wins for Sewanhaka last year by shutout. And this year, too, they've already gotten one shutout against Calhoun. So they've only given up the 1 score in 2 games. Melford off the kickoff return. He'll get out just past the 20-yard line.
Markel Melford on the return.
So the Indians have their work cut out for them.
He gets out to the 32-yard line. That is where Sewanhaka will start its drive.
And really the key is just one drive at a time. Even Casamatis was saying in that Calhoun game, the offense was sputtering. He said, look, we came off a quarantine. We only had 3 days to prepare for Calhoun. So he said to his guys, look, we had 3 quarters of practice. Let's now go all out in this last quarter. They did just that, and they emerged victorious against Calhoun. Of course, Garden City, a different animal altogether. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Twin receivers at the bottom of your screen. Man in motion again. It does go to him, and that's Nick O'Shea, and he is
number 2, Nicholas O'Shea,
pulled down.
Carry.
Funny thing about O'Shea, we mentioned him before. This is his first year playing football since the 9th grade. He's a lacrosse first kid. We mentioned
number
before.
45, William Peters on the stop.
As Vortuba in on the tackle. That
1-yard gain on the play.
He's a lacrosse first kid, but just a terrific athlete. Possession receiver, good hands. Casamatis joked, I wish we had him for all 4 years. He says every time I see O'Shea make a play, he jokes and says, I hate you because you should have been doing this for 4 years. But he's a guy who, look, he's
that concludes the first half.
Again, got his commitment to lacrosse at Adelphi and looking to make the most of it out of his 1 year of varsity football. So that's the half, and it's all Garden City. 35-0 for the Trojans over Sewanhaka in this battle of undefeated teams here at Sewanhaka. That's going to be a popular place here at halftime. They're going to get the grill going, the burgers, the hot dogs, shish kebabs, maybe some hot chocolate as well. It's a little bit chilly here this afternoon at Sewanhaka, but it's a great atmosphere here as the Indians taking on the top dogs of Garden City, and the Trojans lead the Indians 35-0 at the break. We'll take a quick break, and we'll have halftime festivities, as well as we'll show you some of those first half highlights as well. 35-0 at the half. Garden City in the lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang. McKee, first down and more. Charlie McKee. Touchdown, Oceanside.
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
I don't know about you, but I'm pretty hyped up after seeing those hype videos. 35-0, your score. Garden City leading Sewanhaka at the half. And we want to thank our sponsors here today, Optimum Pest Control. Protect your home with a company that you can trust. 15% off mosquito service until May 1st. You can see the number on the bottom right. Optimum Pest Control, 516-509-8362. We also want to thank the Steam Squad, carpet and upholstery cleaners. Got dirt, got stains, got stink? Well, get the Steam Squad. Book now and get 10% off when you mention this ad. You can see the number, 516-567-8966. No dirt on Garden City in that first half. Trojans efficient as always, capitalizing off turnovers, and that's what they did on their first drive, where Jack Cascadden found his way in for his first of what will be 3 touchdowns. You see here, running left, finding his way in. 1-yard touchdown run. That made it 7-0 with 3:35 left in the first quarter, and then Garden City needed little time off another turnover to add to their lead, as this time it was Luke Schmidt finding Kyle Carney on a 21-yard touchdown pass. And actually, this is the run, the second touchdown run by Cascadden. That made it 21-0 for Garden City. Trojans would continue. We mentioned before Schmidt found Carney. Well, this time he would find another receiver, this time connecting with Pierce Archer for a 20-yard score. I'll show it to you in a moment. Certainly an efficient first half for Garden City. All over. Here's Schmidt under center. And this to flip to Cascadden. So 3 first half touchdowns for Jack Cascadden. That a 3-yard touchdown run. He had also TDs of 1 and 11 yards, and that made it 35-0 for Garden City, and that is the score here at the half. George Casamatas talking things over with his standout player, Franz Compere, and we mentioned him at the beginning of our broadcast. Compere has an offer from Wagner, but will likely go on and play at Nassau. He's a guy who can maybe play Patriot League football and still kind of trying to figure out what he wants to do. Here, of course, because of his athleticism, he plays on both sides of the ball, but on the next level, Compere will look to be a defensive first player. He's got the quickness to the ball, but also, of course, just so physical as well. Those long arms for Compere, 6'1", 210. An all-county caliber player, as you see the Indians warming up, or stretching, I should say, in the halftime. That's Jacoby Garcia. Good story here for Garcia, number 18. He lost a close friend, Stefan Smith, who was a lacrosse player at Nassau, also played football here at Sewanhaka, who died in a car accident 2 years ago, and he wore, Stefan Smith did, that number 18. Last year, Casamatas said they didn't let anyone wear that number. They took it right off the rack, but they wore it on the back of their helmets. He said he knew if Jacoby came back out to the team, he didn't play last year. He was so distraught over his close friend's death, but he knew if he came out this year that Garcia would wear number 18 in honor of Stefan Smith. He said it was an unspoken thing. Stefan was like an older brother for Jacoby, so a nice touch there by Sewanhaka and by Jacoby Garcia, honoring the legacy of the late Stefan Smith. Just about set for the start of the third quarter. And Sewanhaka, again, it's been tough sledding for them. Look, Casamata says, look, you know, we knew we'd have some lean years, and last year we knew they would be better. He said this group, these seniors, Compare being one of them, this is the group that they were holding on for, knew that they were a special group. A lot of football-first players.
The second half, Sewanhaka will be kicking off.
He said a year ago we were making a run at the playoffs, but you know, now they're missing quite a few of those type of players. Again, we mentioned the forced quarantine where they missed week 2 against Cary, and then Casamata says, look, honestly, some of the players then, or some of their families, opted to not have those players continue, so they were missing several starters, and the numbers right now are pretty thin. He said coming into this game, especially now with the loss of Lowry, they've got about 19 players that they're trying to battle Garden City with, and GC, as you can see across the way, they've got a full allotment of players to their numbers. So second half underway, Garden City. Good kick.
Number 78, Jaheim Hall.
By Hall.
Goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback.
Jaheim Hall,
for the
it should be
Trojans.
of no surprise. Yes, he's a defensive tackle and an offensive lineman as well, but this is a kid who was a soccer player a few years ago. He started coming to the weight room, decided he might like to kick, and Hall puts that one into the end zone. So it's long field now for Garden City, and really for the first time all game, Garden City's been blessed with terrific field position throughout this game, and they've capitalized, scoring on their first 5 drives to get this 35-0 lead. This time they'll have to go 80 yards as Schmidt will look to lead the way. And it looks like actually some changes here for Garden City for the second half. So this time, Schmidt was not the QB.
Quarterback
Cole
number
Weber.
19, Cole Weber on the keep and the first down run.
Had the keep in the first
11 yards on the game.
down run. So we kind of thought this would be the situation with an extended lead. We'll see some new personnel for Garden City. And Weber, sophomore, was 1 of 1 for 25 yards and a touchdown a week ago. An excellent athlete, another of these big-time lacrosse players that Garden City just seems to churn out year after year. Another run up the middle.
Number 44, RJ.
That was
Vortuba on the
Vortuba.
carry.
We're used to seeing him
8 yards on the
on the
game,
defensive
2nd down
side.
and 2.
He'll get 8 yards on that. So it's a 2nd and 2 from the 31-yard line. Weber's appearance last week, the touchdown was like a halfback option. And there he goes again, this time not getting much. Compare in on the tackle.
Number 19, Cole Weber on the keep. He's brought down by 2 Indian defenders.
Weber,
after
a good-looking and a good-sized player, 6'2", 172. When you talk class of 2023 lacrosse not commits, I should say, but recruits, Weber among the best. He'll have that long pole in the later portion of the spring. Handoff, Vortuba, little stutter step. Gets to the edge and gets forced out of bounds out near the 50-yard line.
Number 44,
Jason
RJ
Termidor
Vortuba on the carry. He's forced
in
out of
on the
bounds
tackle, number
by
10.
Number 10, Jason Termidor.
Termidor
But not before a first
expected
down
to
for
see
Garden
some more
City.
time. Good tackle there by Termidor,
Ball on the 49-yard line, first down.
but it's a
and 10.
first down run for Vortuba gets out to the 49-yard line. Weber, back to pass, flings one down the far side, and that one is incomplete.
Pass intended for number 23, Jack Archer, falls
Jack
incomplete.
Archer, the
Second down
intended
and 10.
target. And now Weber's perfect mark as a quarterback is no more. I joke because, of course, he was just 1 of 1 last week. Didn't see time against Carey, at least not as a quarterback. So 2nd and 10 for Garden City. Some different dudes up front as well for GC. On the sweep, they run it right. That's Vortuba getting to the edge towards the first down marker. A little bit shy of that, though.
R.J. Vortuba on the carry.
Looks like he gets about 8. So again, Vortuba, sophomore. We see him a lot on the defensive side, but
on the carry. He's going to lead
he gets the opportunity now. He's also listed as a running back, so
down and a long 3.
It's a 3rd and 3 now for Garden City. Weber under pressure. Krishan applies that pressure, but the pass is complete for a first down. So Weber withstood that pressure from the weak side and gets the first down pass.
Number 81, Jackson Parissa on the catch, and the first down for the Trojans.
Paressa, the junior, makes the reception. And it's a 1st and 10 for Garden City from the 39. Weber, pressure comes, gets out of it, and gets about 5 or 6. Good job by Weber.
Number 10, Jason Termidor on the stop. He brings down the Garden City quarterback.
See the fake handoff
Weber
to Fennell Jr. And he gets pushed, he gets
5-yard gain on the
5
play,
yards.
2nd down
Termidor
and
with
5.
the tackle, so already his 2nd tackle that we've seen on this series alone. For Termidor, ball on the 34-yard line of Sewanhaka. Weber's got a man in motion, does flip it to him. That's Jack Archer. Archer, left side, down the sideline, and he is forced out.
Number 23,
Tiptoed
Jack
his
Archer
way
is
along
forced out of bounds by
the
number 9,
sideline
Tyler Hartz.
before Tyler Hartz
A
forced
first
him
down
out.
run down to
Another
the
first down
Sewanhaka
run.
13-yard line.
Look out, Ben
1st and
Turchin. It looked like Archer was coming right at you. Ben working the sideline camera for us this afternoon. One of our jack of all trades. I was wondering if Ben would have absorbed that tackle or if he would have
A
found
timeout
his
is
way to
called
bounce
by
out of
Garden
that.
City.
Garden City calls a timeout, and we will take it with them as well. 8:36 left in the 3rd quarter. It's all Garden City here. They lead Sewanhaka 35-0. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Sewanhaka. Dylan Butler here. 35-0. Garden City leading the Indians of Sewanhaka, looking to extend that lead as they've got the ball on the Indians' 13-yard line. Cole Weber in for the second half. Fakes the handoff and taken down. Good pursuit there by a host of Indians.
He keeps it and gains a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 9.
There you see the tacklers for Sewanhaka. So 1 yard gain. 2nd and 9. Weber has a man in motion. Takes it himself, and good read again by the Indians' defense. Looks like that's Compare with the tackle.
Number 70, Franz Compare.
Here you see it again.
Quarterback Cole Weber.
Weber fakes. Look at Compare just flying into your screen. Hits Weber for a loss, so it's 3rd and 10 from the 13. How about that shot? That's where Garden City's been 5 times today, looking to make it a 6th inside of that pylon. Weber rolls right. Short pass, incomplete. Vortuba, the intended receiver.
Pass intended for number 44, R.J.
So,
Vortuba falls incomplete.
After scoring on their first
down and 10.
5, or scoring touchdowns on their first 5 possessions, Garden City may be forced here to go for the field goal. Let's see what their decision is from the 13-yard line. Whoever gets the call from Dave Ettinger on the Garden City bench. And they will look to go here. Again, they can get the first down, which would be inside the 3-yard line. Weber in shotgun. Vortuba in motion. Pressure comes, goes over the middle, and that's broken up. So that's a win for the Indians. They stop Garden City on that run, or on that possession, I should say. And here you see it again. Intended target was Vortuba and broken up well by Sewanhaka. So they'll take over on their own 13-yard line with 7 minutes left in this third quarter. First time today that Garden City hasn't found a way to score. Krishan flings it to Belnavis. Nice cut inside. Belnavis gets out
number 13
towards the 25-yard line. Belnavis, as a sophomore, started at the corner.
He gets 10 yards on the game.
He doesn't look like one, of course, at 6 foot 195. A big kid, very athletic. Good cover guy on defense as well. A basketball player for Sewanhaka. That's a first down run. He gets out to the 24-yard line. Man in motion is Belnavis. Fredericks Dort with the run.
Number 20, Carter Fredericks Dort on the carry.
And we have an injured Indian down, and unfortunately, again, it is Compare. There you see the run by Fredericks Dort. Looked like Matt Kephart in on the tackle, a freshman, the lone freshman for Garden City. With this injury, we'll take a quick timeout. Garden City with a 35-0 lead, just under 6 minutes left in this third quarter. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Rivalry game.
Off the screen.
3 ball is good.
Senior night. Whatever the occasion, we enhance the viewing experience with our productions. Don't settle for a boring stream. Call today for more information about our services. 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Sewanhaka. Franz Compere not putting any pressure, or he's not lifting his one leg, so that's a tough loss right now for Sewanhaka. Krishan with the keeper.
On the carry.
He gets 1 yard.
Sewanhaka offense will be facing a third down.
So
and 1.
3rd and 1 for the Indians from their own 33-yard line. Compare, though, a tough customer. We'll see if he finds his way back onto this field. 3rd and 1 for Sewanhaka. Run goes left. It's a first down run. So the Indians move the change. It was Krishan with the keeper.
First down and 10 for the Indians from the 37.
So they'll move the chains, out to the 36-yard line of Garden City, looking to try to find the end zone for the first time today. Tyler Hartz at the bottom of your screen, as well as Melford, scat possession receiver inside. Melford now in motion. Takes the handoff, but nothing doing. He's eaten up by Matt Kephart.
Melford is brought down by several.
So Kephart again, the freshman. Here you see it again. Melford will come in motion. Takes the handoff, but
no gain on the
Kephart
play.
in there.
Second
Looked like Will Paisley as well. Number 36, as Krishan gets the call from the sideline. 2nd and 10 for Sewanhaka. Again, a lot of new faces on the defensive side as well for Garden City. Flip goes to Bell Navis. Bell Navis is taken down, and Kephart again in on the tackle. I feel like every time there's a tackle being made, Kephart is either the sole tackler or certainly among those in on the tackle. There's
he gains 2 yards,
cutting inside. And Kephart makes the tackle. 2-yard gain, which brings up a 3rd and 8. High snap. Krishan rolls out, and he is taken down.
Quarterback Raul Krishan keeps on the play.
Snap was high. Krishan was
yardage,
going all the way, and
a 4th down and 6.
See the tackle there, so brings up a 4th and 6 for the Indians. O'Shea, number 2, is back to punt. A pair of Trojans deep. Looks like Ingracia is again, and this time O'Shea goes for it himself. O'Shea down the sideline, a first down and more. So Nick O'Shea, a little bit of trickery there. Really a great fake. Gets out inside the 40-yard line. And that's the end of the third quarter. So Garden City with a 35-0 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Sewanhaka. I want to thank our sponsors, Optimum Pest Control. Protect your home with a company that you can trust. 15% off mosquito service until May 1st. Optimum Pest Control. We'd also like to thank the Steam Squad, carpet and upholstery cleaners. Got dirt, got stains, got stink. Get the Steam Squad. Book now. Get 10% off when you mention this ad. Steam Squad. I want to thank both Optimum and Steam Squad. And there's the fans dealing with this one, and they're all bundled up. I think I saw some hot chocolates in that mix as well. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. You flip the field. Krishan hands off. Nice cut inside. Fredericks Dort.
Number 20, Carter
with the run. First play of this fourth quarter. Garden City trying to
3-yard gain on the play.
Improve to 3-0 on the season, in this abbreviated season. It's, for most teams, a 6-game season, but again, both of these teams will miss that one game of those 6. Garden City just 2 more regular season games at Mepham next week, and then home for Southside. Bell Navis, he throws some trickery, and nearly a touchdown. You love the play call, and it's not a surprise that it was Bell Navis. Here you see it again. Bell Navis.
Second down pass.
A good-looking throw.
Bringing up a 3rd down and 7.
In and out of the hands for Tyler Hartz. So love the play call, and really at least half of it was really well executed. A good-looking throw by Bell Navis, but just misses the mark. So 3rd and 7. Sewanhaka that close to finally finding the end zone here against Garden City. Krishan in shotgun. Man in motion. Handoff to Frederick Stort. Taken down. Looked like Zachary Carroll, 73, in on the
stop. He brings
tackle.
Down the Sewanhaka running back, number 20.
Here's a look again.
Carter Frederick Stort.
Watch 73 right there. Just gets around this
4th
man.
down and 5.
Pulls him down. Zachary Carroll, a 5'11", 225-pound senior. Good-looking tackle by Carroll. Sets up a 4th and 5 from the GC 37. Krishan. Toss. Bell Navis wrapped up, though. Nothing doing. Garden City forces the turnover on downs. Bell Navis trying to get to the edge. And how about that? Kephart again.
Matthew Kephart
in on the tackle.
It'll be a turnover on downs.
So we'll go the other way now as Garden City's got the ball on their own 39. Under 10 minutes to play. This is our second game this weekend. We had Bethpage defeating Lynbrook on Thursday night. We should have a few games on the docket next weekend. You want to follow us on Varsity Media, all our social media channels, to find out. We are also subscribed to us here on YouTube, so you can get notifications on where we will be next weekend and beyond. Weber over the top. Intended target was Paresa, but that was incomplete. Belnavis
First down pass falls
on
incomplete.
Coverage.
Coverage on the play by number 13, Karik Belnavis. Second down and 10.
A windy, chilly afternoon here at Sewanhaka High School. So glad you're able to join us on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Perhaps a little bit warmer where you are. But it's good, even though we're in April now, it does have that football weather feel. Run to the left side. Finally getting out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
Number
A big run
Jack Archer
for
on
Jack
the run,
Archer.
and first down for the Trojans.
So the Archer boys doing damage here this afternoon. We saw what Pierce, the older brother, can do earlier with a touchdown reception, and this time it's the younger brother, Jack, with a big run, moving the chains to the 36-yard line of Sewanhaka. Fennell, I could see him here, 27, one of the backs here. And it looks like maybe some motion on the offense. It's been a clean game in terms of the flags.
Penalty against the Sewanhaka.
And actually it goes against Sewanhaka.
Moves the ball up 5 yards to the 31.
So push the Trojans up 5 yards to the 31. So encroachment on the Indians. Weber under center. Hands off to Fennell. Fennell bounces off a tackle, gets to the outside, pushes forward. He'll get that first down, and he's pulled down inside the 15. Fennell's got really good size. You know, we saw him during the summer.
He gets down to the 25-yard line, a first down for Garden City.
I mean, what a terrific dodger, and he's got the size, the strength, the speed. He's obviously, as a coach's son, he's a very, very good lacrosse player. He's showing, though, his ability here on the gridiron as well. First down at the 25-yard line. A little broken play here. Weber, though, is forced out. Looks for options. He'll go the other way. Weber, a huge block, frees him. Continues to go, and out of nothing, Weber gets towards the first down marker. Look at this block upfield. Weber comes back. It was Vortuba, 44. Look at this. Bang!
It is again against the Garden City offense.
They'll call a flag, though, as we'll often see, right, on these broken plays. Someone probably held somewhere. But what a block by Vortuba. That's all going to come back. And they'll bring them all the way back. So that's a 15-yarder against Garden City, which puts them just on their side of midfield. It would appear
it remains first down. Ball's on the 49-yard line.
Compere's day might be done. We've seen him on the sideline, helmet off, still has some ice on that leg, which again is unfortunate for Sewanhaka. Just a baller. Vortuba off that monster block says, I'll run the ball myself. He picks up some of those yardage lost off that flag, gets inside the 40. Vortuba, a starter on the defensive side, getting some extra plays here with Pierce Archer and Jack Cascadden and Luke Schmidt all taking the second half off
down in 22 for Garden City.
After that big lead to get things going. Garden City will also not only improve to 3-0, they'll be 49-2 over their last 51 games. A 2nd and 22 for the Trojans. Weber fakes the handoff, throws near side, that's Fennell. Good coverage, though, by Sewanhaka.
Dominic Belletta on the stop.
Credit Belletta with the tackle. This will be a good look at it here, too. It'll tripped him up at about the 32-yard line. So time continues to wind down. Garden City, of course, not in any hurry. They scored in the first 5 drives. Weber flips to Vortuba running left. Vortuba gets a blocker upfield. Continues to go. Vortuba! He's in. Touchdown, Garden City.
RJ Vortuba on the run and score for
A
Garden
32-yard touchdown run for Vortuba, and the block came, looks like 36, Will Paisley, right there. Look at this upfield block. Paisley allows Vortuba to continue up the Garden City sideline. A 32-yard touchdown run for GC. Gerard O'Connor back on for the PAT attempt. It is up, and it is no good. So his first miss of the afternoon.
Is no good.
The lead is 41-0 for Garden City with 6:25 left in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll return for the final moments of this one. Garden City in control, leading Sewanhaka 41-0. You're watching this Nassau Conference 2 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Sewanhaka High School, 41-0 the lead for Garden City. RJ Vortuba, a 32-yard touchdown run. The PAT was no good. Vortuba was one of the stronger players on the JV last year as a freshman, and he's been a quick learner here on varsity as well. We saw the impact he has on the defensive side of the ball, and in the second half has had a lot of the ball, a lot of opportunity to run the ball with the Garden City starters rested. Here comes O'Shea on the punt return, or kickoff return, I should say. O'Shea is taken down at the 26-yard line. So 4 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. Here you see O'Shea
Number 2,
catching
Nicholas O'Shea
the
on
ball,
the return.
rushing towards the
He
far
gets out to
side. So Sewanhaka has the ball at their own 26-yard line, looking to get on the scoreboard. Nearly too many men for Garden City. New QB in now for Sewanhaka, and said QB with a great run
Number 11,
on first down.
Dominic Belletta on
That's
the run.
Belletta with the first down run. Another look. Belletta gets a block. Gets
A
to
first
the
down for the
outside,
Indians.
forced out by Ryan Mayer. First down run. Some of the newer faces defensively. See Gabrielle Hinnick, 61. High snap. A fumble, and it's recovered by Garden City. Falling onto the ball was Philip Price, the junior. There you saw Hinnick, his pursuit as well.
Number 11, Dominic Belletta.
They'll actually
falls
say
on the-
Belletta fell on it, so
Fumble.
he still has the ball. It was not turned over. Although it will be a significant loss. 2nd and 19 now for Sewanhaka from their own 33-yard line. Belletta, the flip near side, and not much there. Fredericks Dort with the short run.
Number 20, Carter Fredericks Dort is stopped by the Garden City defense after a small gain.
Let's see who was first in there. Tough to see with the official blocking our way. But just a gain of 2. One funny story that Casamatas told us about Garden City was that years ago they put in a toss with a crack block back on the toss, and as soon as they motioned to it, he said he heard the Garden City kids watch out, or say watch out, they're going for the crack, and he said he just laughed. They never got to run the play once. They never ran it before. Long pass downfield. It's complete! Look at this. Sewanhaka will get on to the board.
Number 11,
Touchdown
Dominic Belletta
for
completes
Belletta
number
to
2,
O'Shea.
O'Shea for a Sewanhaka touchdown.
Touchdown, Sewanhaka. Great pass by Belletta. Wide open was O'Shea. He did the rest. The shutout will not be had, and the crowd here at Sewanhaka loves what they saw. And again, these are the learning moments that you get as the game goes on and you want to see improvement. That's one when Casamatas goes over film with his guys, he will certainly point out. PAT is no good, but Sewanhaka cuts into their deficit, 41-6. It was funny. We heard someone in the crowd yell, let him throw it. And you could see maybe why. Belletta, a good-looking arm from the sophomore, finding the senior O'Shea for the touchdown, and that's a good moment for Sewanhaka, certainly. And, you know, look, you want to get as many guys out there as you can. There's not many to be had for Sewanhaka. Only 19 on this roster here today. Then you lose another key player to injury, but that's one, again, you'll take a moment like that, Casamatis will, as you see him there in speaking to his squad. And look, he saw a little bit of his future there as well, right? Belletta, only a sophomore, so quarterback of the future, certainly, and I suspect he'll again tell O'Shea that he hates his guts, because that's what he joked about, saying, wishes every time O'Shea makes a big play, he says, I wish you were here with me for 4 years instead of just these 6 weeks. So that one comes late in this fourth quarter, 1:49 on the scoreboard. So a positive moment for the Indians. And they've got a 41-6 lead. Kickoff. Fielded right around the 1 yard line. Long return there by Francisco
Number
Ingracia.
78, Jaheim Hall
on
the kickoff.
Another good-looking
The stop
kickoff.
was made by number 2, Nicholas O'Shea.
Hall's a great story, their kicker. Again, we mentioned before, soccer guy a few years ago, started coming to the weight room and said, you know what, I want to try kicking. And then he was at practice a little more and said, Coach, I want to try a little bit more. And again, 6'1", 260, throw him on the line. He said he's a great kid, really nice sense of humor as well, a really hard worker. When he's not playing football, he works with his dad, who's a plumber. So he's got that blue-collar mentality, does Jaheim Hall. Garden City 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Flip on the handoff. Vortuba gets out towards midfield. Again, Vortuba with the 44-yard touchdown run. Or excuse me, 32-yard touchdown run for number 44. He gets out towards midfield as time is winding down in this one. Wondering even if Garden City needs to run many more plays. The clock here on the scoreboard, which they've announced is unofficial, is just under a minute now. Under center is Weber. Handoff, kicks it out near side. Vortuba cuts inside. R.J. Vortuba to the secondary. He's got one man to beat. Touchdown, Garden City. Vortuba to the house for a 52-yard touchdown run. So Vortuba with the 32-yard score before. Tack on 20 more yards for his second touchdown run of the second half. And now O'Connor will look to tack on another PAT. And he does just that. 48-6. Garden City extends its lead, and Vortuba, like, I'm not a mathematician, but if you just add his 2 touchdown runs together, that's 84 yards on the ground, and he's run the ball a lot here in this second half, so could very well be over 100 yards at this point, R.J. Vortuba, and we saw the work that he did defensively as well in that first half, so good job by Vortuba, tacking on. Multiple touchdowns as well for Jack Cascadden. Really kind of led the way in that first half. 3 touchdown runs for Garden City. Also, Luke Schmidt connected with Kyle Carney, as well as Pierce Archer on touchdown throws. Garden City had a 35-0 lead at the half. They extended it on the first of R.J. Vortuba's 2 touchdown runs in the second half. And they've got this 48-6 lead here late in the fourth quarter. Sewanhaka will look to bounce back next week. They're at Belmore JFK, and they close out this regular season at home against Mepham on the 17th. Return up the middle. Garden City, we mentioned before. Well, they go to Mepham next week, and then they are home for Southside. Certainly the way things are looking for Garden City is they will be home, certainly more likely than not, for the duration of the playoffs. And again, the playoffs change this year in this abbreviated spring season where it's a 6-game regular season and 2 playoff games, so you get rid of that first round of quarterfinals, but also the semifinals and finals aren't at Hofstra, so games are on campus sites. Garden City would love to host and have the rest or the entirety of the playoffs at home. And judging by what we saw so far in Nassau Conference 2, looks likely we could see another Garden City MacArthur showdown in the Nassau Conference 2 championship game. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line for Sewanhaka. We're winding down here in the fourth quarter. That's a good-looking run by Carter Fredericks-Dort. And it's on the final play of the game. So Fredericks-Dort forced to take a lion's share of the returns or rushes this week with Brian Lowry out. Did a pretty good job in that new job that he had. So 48-6, your final score for Garden City. Trojans improved to 3-0 on this season. Sewanhaka falls to 2-1. We will take a quick break and return with an interview with our Varsity Media Player of the Game when we return. Again, final score 48-6, Garden City with the win. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sewanhaka High School. Again, your final score, Garden City beating Sewanhaka 48-6, and we're now joined by our Varsity Media Player of the Game, Pierce Archer. And Pierce, congratulations on another win for you guys, and it seemed like it was a little bit of what's been working for you guys. Multiple guys impacting the game. You've got great blocks up front, and yourself, Jack, Luke, I mean, you're all involved offensively.
It was amazing. I mean, we have so many guys that can play the whole entire game. I mean, it's great to see everyone get in. Everyone's making plays. We're hitting hard. We got a lot of work still to do. There's still a lot of work we have to do. We're not there yet.
You got to love, too, when on your first 5 possessions you find the end zone. And, again, we mentioned it, Cascadin getting things going, 3 touchdown runs. And what I think makes you guys so dangerous, one of the things certainly is, you know, you can't just assume Jack is going to run the ball or you're going to catch it. I mean, you guys are involved in so many different ways, so versatile offensively.
It's great. I mean, Cascadin, he's an amazing player. He does it all. There's no way to stop him. I mean, with the O-line that we have, it's fantastic. And then Kyle Carney's been playing.
Yeah, Carney with a great touchdown as well. And then RJ, we see the impact that he has on the other side of the ball. He gets a chance to kind of show the legs offensively with those 2 long touchdown runs. Is he going to give you guys maybe a little bit of a run for your money now running the ball?
Wait, what was that? Can you just repeat that?
I said, is RJ now going to maybe give you guys a little bit of a run for your money the way that he was running the ball in the second half?
Oh, he's great. He's a great player. I mean, on defense, he makes tackles. I know he's awesome. And on offense, the last, 2 drives, he probably had 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was great to see him get out there and play.
Well, Pierce, congratulations on another win. And the march to 5-0, I guess, at this point continues. You got 2 more cracks at it to go the rest of the way. Congratulations on this win, and best of luck as well going forward.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, Pierce Archer, our Varsity Media Player of the Game, a touchdown reception for Pierce as well as Kyle Carney. 48-6 is your final score. Garden City improves to 3-0 on the regular season. Sewanhaka falls to 2-1. Garden City will get back on their buses, head back home, and prepare for next week's game at Mepham. And we want to thank our whole crew here today for the Varsity Media Sports Network. Matt Rumock, the main camera. Of course, our fearless leader, Ben Turchin, on the sidelines today, as well as the pride of Seaford, Nick Louisi. I'm Dylan Butler again, reminding you the final score. Garden City 48, Sewanhaka 6. We thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Good afternoon, everyone.